This is one of the hardest hikes I've ever had to do in my life.
Come with me as I embark on my greatest challenge yet, a 14,000-foot mountain in the high Sierras. With 22.4 miles and 4,900 feet of elevation gain, would I rise to the occasion?
It was a little bit tricky, but I finally found the trail to it. Alright, so most of this hike, it looks like in the beginning, is just forestry. So not a lot of views yet. So I've watched many videos on Mount Langley, and in many of the videos, I didn't realize that there was this much trees. It's like they give it this illusion that there's like just like no trees at all, but or like there's a little bit of trees, but like I'm probably like just under a mile in the hike, and the second lake, I mean the first lake will be coming up over there. But so far this first mile has been pretty gentle in terms of the elevation, so it's kind of nice. I believe the last 2 to 3 miles are really going to be the push to the top of the mountain. So there are a couple meadows on the way up to New Army Pass.
I set up camp next to the trailhead. That day, I proceeded to finish the hike at 2 o'clock in the morning of the next day in pitch dark.
All right, so this is the second day. I had to start the hike at 2 o'clock. You can't see because it's pitch dark, but I just passed up a creek. Hopefully it'll be light by the time I get to the first lake. All right, this is one of many creek crossings, but I'm approaching the first lake. I did see some animal staring at me with like these piercing blue eyes, like highlights or something. It was creepy, so just be careful out here. I will say that maybe the first 4 miles to the lake are pretty smooth. It's a very gradual incline gain, very soft soil, so your feet aren't going to hurt because the sand is very soft when you're walking. But once we get to like New Army Pass or New Army Pass Point, which is 12,000 feet, that's when the real challenge will begin. All right, so that up there is Mount Langley. So we're gonna try to head up there, head up through here, through New Army Pass Point. So at this point in the hike, we're starting to get out of the tree line. As you can see behind me, we've got Lake 2. I think there's another lake right there, and there's probably some more coming up pretty soon. So we have to traverse around this boulder section right here. And right here is just nothing but boulders piled on top of each other. And peaks I don't know the name of. Another lake right there. I hear a creek flowing. Let's go. Got to another lake. So I'm trying to see where all these switchbacks are going to come up through, but can't really see where the trail is going to lead me up to. Alright, so this is where the real challenge begins. The switchbacks. Another lake. We got these massive cliffs right here next to the lake. Just seen a marmot up here. So I'm not exactly sure how this converts over to this, because we have to get up there somehow. go past New Army Pass Point.
As I was doing this hike, I began to question myself. But then I looked back. San Jacinto, San Gorgonio, Mount Gould. Was it all preparation for this one moment? Perhaps it was. That's when I knew I could do it.
This is one of the hardest hikes I've ever had to do in my life. We're about to reach the New Army Pass in just a bit. Alright. It's very windy up here. So they lined up these cairns right here. So we just gotta find a way to get up there. That's the goal right there. I think those are some false summits, but we're just gonna follow these cairns because I do see the sign. So we officially entered Sequoia and Kings National Park. So somewhere is a trail to Langley. I just gotta find it. For my calculations, we have about 2,000 feet of gain. I do see the trail, so we're gonna have to go up here, around there, do some switchbacks, and eventually it looks like a little bit of scrambling up here. But there are no trees up here. There are other mountains in the distance, so there is less oxygen. So the highest I've ever been is 13,000 feet. I've got to see how my body reacts to altitude, so I've got to take it really slow. In the distance, I want to say that's Kings Canyon National Park or Sequoia. They're both kind of like combined together, or they're like right next to each other. So as I'm doing this hike, I have to keep track of my heart rate, my breathing, my senses, and my touch, because we are at altitude and I have gotten sick in the past. And it's always good to stop, take a break. I'll drink some water, take a breather, do it again, take another break, do it again. You know, just to kind of maintain a slow pace, because at altitude you don't want to rush to the top of the mountain, as this could exasperate any type of altitude sickness. All right, so as you can see, the peak is right there. So I'm assuming I probably got about maybe 2 miles to get to it. Even though it does look a lot closer, it looks really close. But I'm not sure what elevation I'm at. I think I'm getting close to 13K. Let's go and get this teeter. I got a little over a mile left in the hike, with probably about 1,700 feet of gain left. There, right there is the there's a lake right there. I don't know if you can see it from here. So from a distance, you can actually see Soldier Lakes. Do not remove the cairns, as they are used to guide hikers. Here's one of the cairns. Not the bad kind, the good kind. 1 mile and 1,000 feet of gain left. I think this is the last 14er I'm going to do for a while. So with less than a mile, we've got to get through all these rocks, and that's with 1,000 feet of gain. So somewhere around here, we're just going to follow more of these cairns, and it'll take us to the top of the mountain. I want to say that right there is the peak, but I'm not 100% sure. because this just kind of goes around. So I don't know how that adds up to a mile, but maybe it goes more past there, or maybe it goes more that way, but we'll find out soon enough. And I forgot to mention, we have to do that with only 65% oxygen up here. So yeah, there's a lake from a distance. All right, about 900 feet left in the hike, 875 give or take. So we are about 0.8 miles away from the peak. All right, this is where the class 2 rock scramble was going to come into play. Don't forget to soak all this in before you ascend to the top. It'll distract you from the fact that you're exhausted. I'm on the verge of achieving something monumental. I'm just about 600 feet away from achieving my dream. Just gotta get through all this. The final push to the summit. That's the peak right there. We'll go there in just a bit, but for now, I'm gonna check these views out, man. Amazing. All right, 14,023 feet. Made it to the top of the mountain. It's a long ways down there. I know you guys want to say hi in the video. Congratulate these two as well for summiting this 14er. What's your name?
Yeah, thanks Alex. I'm Andrew.
Kristen.
I think that's Lone Pine down there. From a distance, you might be able to see Independence. Far over there would be Bishop. There's that rock ledge right there. It's pretty cool. So this is this side of the mountain range. Then you can see the other side of the mountain range, which goes into Kings Canyon National Park in Sequoia. So you get views all around. Cottonwood Lakes down there. We got to head back down there, and then we got to drive all the way down there, head back to the valley. I did find the register. I just went ahead and put my name down in there and the date I summited. So I'm gonna go ahead and head back down because it's a really long walk to the car, and I want to try to get down before sundown. So I hope you enjoyed this hike. Don't forget to like and subscribe.